Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Here's my Lego City update. Nice thing about summertime is I've got plenty of time to be outside, and if the weather is nice, I'm in the shed, so I have to do it early if it's a hot day, or it gets really hot inside. No AC. I do have a heater for the winter, which works great, but I do not have an AC, so working on that. What I'm looking at here is kind of a mess, and boy, there's a layer of dust now that I see it all zoomed in, but this is, I think, called Assembly Square, and what I'm dealing with, this light post here on the left, it was a different color. All the classic modulars have at least one of these light posts, and they're kind of I think they call it a warm glow. They've since come out with white, bright white, and now they have LEDs instead of bulbs, which makes total sense. But because this is all kind of like a street, they all need to match. And so I didn't realize I had put in two wrong ones. And so right now I am popping out the two light posts. And of course, they were all fed back. You can see a plug of one of them hanging over the top. And I couldn't find another light post, so I had to order one online. It was like $7.99. It was the classic warm glow. So it'll go over here on the far right. You'll see there's a little gap over on the far right. That's where the other one goes. So this modular is very wide, and it has two lamp posts instead of one. So once I get that in a week or so, I'll get those plugged in and then push this whole thing back in place. Trying to get everything cleaned up, looking good, but you can see just being out in the shed, especially, quite a job to have to go in and wipe down every surface of a Lego city. Whew, but that's okay. We'll get there. So, second thing I'm working on, this fire engine. I was having some problems with the fire engine was not. It was too deep into the garage right there. I wanted it kind of, because there's firemen in and that guy's missing a hat. I need to order another hat. Couldn't find it. There's firemen in the truck, and then when it's plugged in, there's a red light that flashes, and the headlights and taillights come on, which is great. But I wanted it out a little further, so I pulled it. I pulled it too hard. It broke the wires. I tried to fix it. Some soldering, and just could not get it to work. So I ordered an entire light set for the fire station, just for the fire truck part. That's it. I couldn't find it. So it was like $28. Gosh, I guess, but at least I can use those other lights somewhere, somewhere else in the city. So that's something else I'm working on. And so here is kind of from that building down. This is the part of the city I have not yet fine-tuned. I haven't. So to the left of this picture, I've got like 4 or 5 buildings that are all lit, all plugged in, for the most part working and in place. And there's a road with cars on the road, and then there's train track. Everything is good. I'll show you that in a minute. And then from here, this is the movie theater, the Palace Theater, and there's an intersection right there. So once I get all the things that I need to get, the light for the fire engine, the lamp post for the assembly square, I'll slide that all back into place. Excuse me, and continue putting street down the middle of the city. Now the street pieces are too big, so I cut them. I buzz them through my bandsaw so they custom fit between the train track and the buildings. So what I have here on the train track, I've got two. I'm gonna have 2 or 3. I think I've since changed this. I'm going to have 3 lines of trains running. It only looks like I have 2. I mean, you can't even really tell. I don't even have the track down. But there will be 3 lines of train running at the same time. So they're battery powered and all that. So there's so much to do, but It's so fun. So this is a bridge that is, there's the 3 lines, and I have to duck under that now. I was going to make it movable, but that's difficult. If you have to put this back in place and then put all the track together every time, chances are I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to force myself. I'm old, and that's a push for me, a stretch for me to duck under that. I don't know how tall it is, 4 feet maybe. It's tough, man. But I do it. It'll keep me limber, I guess. So, but I think it'll be better permanent. And then I will build a bridge structure, like a truss bridge, because I love that kind of stuff, at some point on the top of that. So that's where I'm going with that. Now on the other side, so that's continue around towards that speaker over there. There's the speaker. Over here is what you'll see is, instead of all 3 train tracks being close together on this side, I'm going to have 2 of them go behind the amusement park and 1 go in the front. So there'll always be a train visible, but over here, they'll kind of disappear behind. And I'm even toying with, this is a crazy idea, but I'm toying with having the furthest track actually go out through a tunnel, like drill a hole in the side of the shed and have the train go out to an outdoor track just on the outside of the shed and then back in. So it truly disappears. It also would make more room for structures and things over here. I just don't know. That's a big thing. That opens up the door for a lot of things. One, there'll be 2 holes in the side of the shed. So how do I block that off when I'm not using the trains? Do I have some kind of pull down or snap on cover? And then the track would be on the outside, so I don't want weather, or sunlight or snow or leaves. So does that mean I have to build like a covered? So anyway, I think that's a cool idea. Oh, and if the train goes off the track, I have to have access to that on the outside. So like a removable little top on like a tunnel, but the top would come off so I could reach in and clean it out and also fix a stuck train. I think that would be really fun. And you know what? I can do it. It's my shed. And the train wouldn't even be visible. It would be cool if people could see it, if my shed was visible on the outside, so people walking by would all of a sudden see this train come out. That would be awesome. But this is kind of behind a fence. There's just like 3 feet or so between the shed and the fence. So there's nothing there. So it's really a good place to do it. Anyway, side note, but that would be interesting. It would be interesting. So here I cut too much hot glue in a couple spots. I'm a little bit bummed about that. But here I just cut a corner of a gray tile. I was going to put, let me see if I can go back. No, you can't see it. I was going to put a piece of wood here, but it's really not supporting any weight. It's just visual. The train would be fine, I think. But I just hot glued this little corner. It's just hot glued in place, and I think it will be perfectly fine. The track is mounted, and right above it you can see a little piece that I had cut off. I had to do several, I think 3 custom track pieces. Luckily they were straight pieces. I don't think that would matter, maybe, and I just super glued them back together, and where I needed smaller pieces. So I just ran to Minifigs on Fairview in Boise and picked up a whole bunch of dark gray 2x4 tiles. And what that's for, as you can see in the picture, I hot glue those to the bridge, and then the track stays in place. So it just keeps them from sliding around. So the track isn't hot glued down, so I can move it if I need to, but these little pieces keep them in place, which I really like. So that worked out great. So for like, I don't know, $12, I got a whole bin of all the color and size that I needed. So, and then I decided to put the treehouse here, which I thought would be really cool. There's a guy who is hoisting food up into the treehouse from his little hoist thing, and I thought it'd be really cool if, like, the train delivers the goods, and then you can hoist it up from there, which I can totally do that. So, and then I put some trees around the treehouse, which I think looks really cool. I think because this is going to be kind of like Disneyland, like an amusement park, the property of the amusement park will probably need a fence around it. So I moved the trees back enough so that I have room for a little, maybe a wooden fence. It's going to take a lot of fence. So I need to research that. What kind of fence do I want to build? Kind of represents the border of the amusement park. So it's just not like grass and then train yard, right? So that's what I'm thinking. That's not it. So anyway, that's the update, and I'm pretty excited. This was only maybe an hour and a half or two of work today, but I got a lot done, and I'll be looking forward to sharing more with you as I progress. I've got probably more Lego modular buildings than anybody that you know, I would guess. I have a lot. So I like to share that with others. And if you're into Legos, I hope this is kind of fun to see. And then when I get the Lego trains running, I'll do some video of that, which should be super, super fun. I can't wait. So there's the update. I call it Bricktown. That's my town, my Lego city. I'll catch you next time. For now, Mr. Johns is out.